Peace, peace, peace. What's good? Uh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all, Elay, I am the poet, Jonte Hall. Call me what you like. I answer to all three. I'm here today, man, just to connect with the people, trying to give a little bit of insight. It's a, it's been a whole lot of crazy stuff going on in the nation right now, really crazy stuff going on all over the world at all times, but when it hits home is when people start to really pay attention. I'm gonna be really brief today. I'm gonna be really brief. Today, I just came to talk about the topic of today is nothing is the end all, and what I want to touch on today is really just about. I guess you can call it addiction. It's about instant gratification. It's about false securities. It's about false satisfaction. A lot of us, when I say us, I mean melanated people, people of color, really even, because everyone is melanated, really, somewhat, in a sense. Even when you're not talking about, melanated people or African people, or whatever you want to call us, right? Even when you're talking about European people. A lot of us are really tired and fed up with a lot of the stuff that's been going on, and we're looking for ways out of that particular pain, because there's a certain amount of pain that's caused. I mean, I don't care what. I mean, I looked at a video today, even Bill O'Reilly, and you know it's bad when Bill O'Reilly say that man did not deserve to die. Which, I feel like that's a lot of propaganda anyway. We don't even want to get. That's another video. Today, we're just talking about, it's a lot of pain associated with dealing with the realities of our society. When I say realities of our society, is that this is a very class-driven society. It's a money-driven society. It's called capitalism. And it's kind of just what it is. And I mean, it's sad to say that racism feeds capitalism. This country is designed off of. I look at it like Monopoly. When I was a kid, I used to love to play Monopoly, and I used to love to be the banker playing Monopoly so that I could control the money. And when you really look at it, that's really how our society is based. That's the design that our society is based off of. There's this paper currency system in which they print money basically out of nowhere, seemingly. They print this money, and they design society to where you cannot have the basic necessities that you need unless you have this currency that they've created. And you'll do anything in your power or in someone else's power to get it in order to eat, in order to take care of your family. And, when you look at, the first presidential election, we were talking about, what was it, Bob the plumber, Joe the plumber, and you talk about how, all of us in America, we're so afraid of communism, so afraid of, we need, freedom in the business world and this and that. And those things are good because this is a capitalist society. But that's where a lot of the issue comes from, because at the end of the day, it all is trickling up. It's all money just kind of funneling up to the top. Like our society or our currency system, our system of living here is really like a big pyramid scheme. And, a big Ponzi scheme. That's kind of the way that it's designed. But, I can't really do anything about that. I mean, I work too. I have business also. I buy, sell, and trade, all these things, because, that's the way society is designed. And, I don't know that I'm going to be the one individual person to change or stop that, even though I'm not a big fan of it myself. But, hey, I like having nice things just like everyone else. And at the end of the day, a lot of us who are on the lower end of the totem pole, on the side of the seesaw, is always down. we look for things to kind of help ease the pain of the struggle. And that's where you look at religious systems, groups, and organizations that we decide that we want to associate ourselves with. And that's kind of where I feel like a lot of that comes from. It's easy for me if I'm a European man and I say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of not having money. All these freaking Mexicans are taking the job. Because that allows me to take the blame off of myself and put it on someone else, so it eases my pain. I don't have to sit with that pain inside of me. I can exert it to someone else. Or that these black people, or these McDonald's workers, or these freaking the rich people, and this and that. So these are things that we need to help us to get through this experience that we call life. And what I'm here to say is that everyone needs that. Everyone needs something. You know, everyone needs, a lot of Christians, the Bible, Jesus says, eat, drink, and be merry. Really, Imhotep said it too. But, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you shall die. So, yeah, we need these things, but we need to understand that the medicine or the buffer that's assisting us with dealing with these ills is not the end all. It's not necessarily the solution. If I'm out of shape and overweight and I try to start working out or I'm exercising, I need to drink water when I get thirsty, and I will get thirsty very quickly, and I need to take a break. But just because you need to take a break and drink some water doesn't mean that that's your solution to being fat and out of shape. You need the water temporarily to help you overcome your fatigue. You need a quick break to help you overcome your fatigue. But you just got to keep grinding it out. And that's just one, example I'm going to use. But when you get to talking about these particular movements that start to bubble up, these are symptoms of this crazy class race system that we live in. These are symptoms of it. When you have oppressed people and they don't have anything, and you got this organization that's beaten and taken from them and policing their communities, well, you know what? They're going to start to get tired of that, and they're going to organize, and they're going to put together groups that are going to try to police their own communities against you. And that's what happened in America. You got a bunch of groups that was started, throughout the whole Black Power movement, throughout time. These groups originated to help us. So when you get to trying to organize and say, well, I'm going to be Black Power shouty, as that a lot of people say. You get, well, that's what my brother say. I'm going to say a lot of people. My brother called it Black Power shouty, There can't be the end all. You see, because there's no end to the universe. So like everything comes full circle. And that's my point, is that you can't come down on sister such and such on the third pew because she can't get past level 1 Christianity or level 1 whatever. You can't bash her because she can't get past that, because that's where she is. She's right where she needs to be, right? When you are in level 1 Black Power, you understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand that this whole thing, this whole experience, this whole matrix is got to come full circle. You understand what I'm saying? If you at level 1 right now, and you start running around this circle, you're going to get back to level 1 before you can jump up to level 2. You got to build up that momentum before you can step up a level. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is this, there was an old Zen proverb that says, the finger that points to the moon is not the moon. It's not just about religion. What that means is that the finger that points to the moon is not the moon. There are tools that we have in this experience to show us the way to liberation, to show us the way to spirituality, to show us the way to, beauty, to experiencing those things that, the climaxes of life. There are tools to get us there, but those tools are not the end all. The problem is a lot of times we get so excited that we have finally found something to take us away from this particular pain, to take us away from these particular issues, that we don't want to go anywhere. We want to stay with the tool. This is the best tool ever. And you keep doing it. I'm a vegetarian, or really vegan. And I've been vegan really for a couple of years, been vegetarian for about 3 or 4 years. And one of my biggest issues that I always had when I came away from the meat was I wanted to eat the same thing every day. There's a restaurant here, and I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not about to advertise them for free, but there's a particular restaurant. It's kind of like a Caribbean style restaurant, and they have a lot of vegetarian options that you can get. With dairy free. You can get dairy on if you're still vegetarian. If you're going vegan, you can get it without the dairy, right? I would go there every day and get this one particular salad, this black bean salad, right? Every day I would get it. And eventually I would, once I've been doing it for a couple of weeks, I'd be like, man, I don't really feel good. And what was happening is instead of adding the variety that I needed in my diet in order to get, a full spectrum of the nutrients and minerals that I needed for my proper health, I was just only getting this one thing because I was stuck on it. I was like, man, I'm not eating meat no more, but this is giving me the satisfaction that, grilled hamburgers used to give me. So I'm happy with this, house vinaigrette sauce and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so happy with this. This is all I'm going to do. And what I wasn't realizing was that I was hurting myself because I was replacing one particular addiction. I was replacing one particular crutch with another crutch. You understand what I'm saying? And I was not able to stand on my own. And if I was able to stand on my own, I would realize that, hey, on this journey, I might fall, I might slip, I might sprain my ankle, and then I might need to go grab a crutch. And that crutch might help me along the way. But once I get to a certain level, I'm going to pass that crutch on to someone else. And that crutch might help them. But then I'm looking for the next person to pass me the baton, to pass me the crutch. Or I'm looking within myself to find another crutch or create a new crutch. You understand what I'm saying? Until I can get to the level where I don't need crutches. And I think when you look at the spiritual systems, when you're looking at most groups, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, even with your job, everyone is trying to get to that level in whatever category that they're in which they don't need that crutch. And that's another problem with our society, which is another video, is that we're always striving to get more, get more, get more. We're always looking to get to the next level, to the next level. And what we don't realize is we're already here. Everything in this planet, everything in this universe is already, it just be. You understand what I'm saying? Everything in existence already exists. We're going through time. Time ain't passing by us. So once we get a grasp on that, and it's hard, I understand. It's hard to understand that. It's hard to get a grasp and a strong hold onto that because there's so much being thrown at us at the same time. We're dealing with all of these issues in America right now. And in society, period, in our existence. So much is coming at us, is difficult for us to be able to handle it. So we get so tired of this pain that the tools that God or the universe is giving us to deal with this pain, we get addicted to it. It's so many addicts in our society, and I'm going to speak on this. It's so many people in our society that want to bash homeless. They want to bash the drug addicts. They want to bash the alcoholics. And I've always said this, man. And I'm so strong about this particular issue, especially with alcoholism, because this touches home with me. Not me personally, but loved ones and people that I know. We want to bash them. Oh, they ain't gonna never, they're going to rehab, they ain't gonna never come clean. A lot of people have been prescribed medicine. A lot of people have been through experiences that you cannot imagine, and they're using it as their crutch. So when you sitting down at that table and you 195 and you 5'2", and you sitting there with the hog miles and you sitting there with the chitlins and you sitting there with the greens, with the with the ham in it, and you smashing all this food down, you are no different than the alcoholic or the drug dealer, or the drug dealer too, because that's an addiction too. You're no different than anyone else with any other addiction. So we need to get a perspective on that. That we all deal with addiction. Sex can be addiction. Watching TV can be an addiction. Laziness can be an addiction. We deal with these addictions because of the issues that we're faced with. We run to something that's going to help us ease that pain just a little bit. So if easing the pain is like me making this video, might be me easing this pain. But I can't get stuck in this seat thinking that what I'm doing is the end all. What I'm doing is all it is. And I get so comfortable that I think that I'm better than the next person because what I'm doing is different from what they doing to ease their pain. Everyone trying to ease their pain. And so I just want you to take that into perspective and have an understanding. There's nothing wrong with speaking out against what you want to speak out against. There's nothing wrong with banging on the system. There's nothing wrong with going hard for whatever you believe in. Go hard. I'm a strong advocate of going hard. If you believe in something, go into it full force. But don't get to the point to where you get so caught up in what you going hard on that you forget that everyone is doing the same thing. Understand what I'm saying? So yeah, make your moves, make your points, do whatever you gotta do. But just understand that we're all a part of one existence. And I'm not trying to say that, that these issues going on in the country right now are not a black issue, not a white issue. I'm not particularly talking about just race. I'm just saying don't get consumed in your crutch, because that will eventually hurt you. You understand what I'm saying? The finger that points to the moon is not the moon. Okay? It's a tool to show us that there's the moon, and we got to figure out how to get there. As a matter of fact, we are the moon. The moon and I are one. So before you can understand it, you might have to see that there is a moon there. The finger is going to show you that. So you allow the tools that you use to help you to what you need to be, and then become in alignment with the moon. Realize your current alignment between yourself and the moon. And that's all I got for you today. I'm gonna leave you with this one thing though. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was talking to one of my Bibles the other day, and we were talking about metaphysics. We were talking about different things, just the metaphysics of everything, right? And he was talking about Jesus. He was talking about, well, I'm not gonna say Jesus. I'm gonna say Yahshua, because I'm not even gonna go there with it. He was talking about Yahshua, and we were talking about how there were two types of teachings that he taught. One that he taught to the general public, which generally was in parable. He taught the general public in parable. And his disciples, he taught them what you call a sacred or mystic or mysticism. He taught them sacred teachings. And that's what's called the Gnostic teachings. That's what a Gnostic is. Gnostic means knowing. Let them marinate. Peace. One time, I'm out.